Hi, everybody. Keto for Real Life People here, and I've already got a comment. Hey, Lisa. Oh, hi. The party can start. Hello, El. LOL. Hello, Nancy. Hi, guys. Keto for Real Life People. And I just want to let you know that as I am transitioning into learning more and more about doing live streams, whether it's on YouTube or whether it's on Facebook or heck, even Instagram, which I don't do very often. But here's the thing. I struggled so much with going back and forth on, my Facebook peeps, my YouTube peeps. And, you just don't want to, you just don't want to go over one side or the other. So today, hopefully this is coming through. You guys let me know. I'm seeing YouTube comments. I'm seeing Facebook comments. This is actually being broadcasted live on Facebook and on YouTube. And I hope the stream holds up. I don't know what kind of technical difficulties I will run into trying to do two at a time, but we're going to give it a go. So, TJ, what's your YouTube channel? It is Keto for Real Life People. Guys, whenever you're looking for me and you're looking for Keto for Real Life People, you will find the same name, whether it's on YouTube or if it's on Facebook or if it's on Instagram, my website. It's all Keto for Real Life People. Hello, I see y'all are popping in today. Welcome, welcome. If this is your first time, welcome, welcome. And I hope we do have some newbies in here, you guys. I think today is going to be a really good topic. I normally do my lives, my weekly chit chat with everybody on Thursday, but I will tell you that tomorrow I will not be doing it because I have doctor's appointments tomorrow as well as taking my mom to hers appointment. So Thursday got booked up, so I thought I would go ahead and get my broadcast done today with you guys. Nancy, I've got you both on YouTube and Facebook. Good job. Yay. Good seeing you. All right. All right. Okay. So I will go into the chit chat a little bit unless I see like super something come up important. Mind you guys, for all y'all Facebook folks, I cannot see hearts or likes, but you're more than welcome to give them. I will see them on the replay. Stars too. For you on YouTube, Super Chat is open. You can send specialized stickers if I get one of those. I don't know if it's going to pop up or not, but thank you for all of that. I appreciate it. So today's topic, can I eat this? So we go around a lot. I mean, keto now for almost 3 years, and it amazes me, you guys, about how many people are asking, can I have this or can I have that? Now, you've heard me talk a lot about, at the end of the day, it's your choice. You do you, boo. Pretty much, that's just what I do, right? But I want to start out with saying, first and foremost, guys, whether you're very new to the keto journey or you've been on it for, like me, 2.5, 3 years plus, there's always things that come along that make you question whether you're doing something right, and especially when it comes to ingredients. So I thought today we would just take a minute. I wrote some notes down and talk about different things. And I want to start off just with one particular thing here. I want to see if you guys can see this, okay? So this is keto bread. You guys might recognize it. It is on Aldi. It is, or sold at Aldi's. It is a perfect example of, can I have this? Can I eat this? So let's talk about it for just a minute. I'm going to see if I can pop a little picture up and move it. I wish I could move it where I wanted it. Oh, well, it is what it is. Maybe I can do this, or maybe I can do this, or maybe I can do this. I don't know. Okay, so we're learning here, guys. So there, I'll just move me. So this is keto bread. It's available at Aldi's. It's very misleading. I want you guys to and we're not going to break down every product and go over ingredients. I just want to start with the big one. When I broadcast this or live earlier today, that was, somebody said, can I have keto bread? Well, a lot of people do ask about this. Look at this, guys. It says 0 net carbs, 0 net carb bread. All right. So one of the things that I noticed about this bread is when I looked at the ingredients list, let me see if I can take that off. There we go. So when I looked at the ingredients list, here are some of the things that I found in it. If you are keto and you've been keto, this is like a keto class. So pop your answers in. Please comment here. All right. So is this keto? Yes or no? Here are some of the ingredients in it. Wheat, barley, malted barley, soy, wheat meal, wheat bran, soy, soy protein, soy grits, soy flour, and apple fiber. Does anybody see a problem with that? Exactly, Kara. Exactly. There you go. No, 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 no. Everybody's saying no. Excellent. So, we have to be really careful when we are being advertised or marketed to. So many companies, especially the big ones, y'all, like to use buzzwords. Buzzwords are going to attract your attention. They're going to make you think that you're getting something healthy when you're not. It doesn't have to be keto to have a buzzword, for example. If you were to look at the meat produce section and it says no antibiotics, that's a buzzword. Look, antibiotics are something, or no hormones. That's the one. Never hormones, it says, in your milk, or never hormones on your chicken or your pork. Well, they're not allowed to use them. All right. So they are not allowed, but they see that as a selling point. Just like when somebody says, hey, look, we've got this bread, because of all the fiber in it, we can call it keto, and we'll use that on marketing, and people will flock to it because keto is really hot right now. That does not make it keto. So you have to be your own advocate when you are going shopping, whether you're in the produce department or the grocery department, or you're over in the dietary supplement department. Take a look. Always look at your ingredients. It's not enough to look at the nutrition label. You might see that, it says 10 total carbs and 8 total fiber and 2 net carbs. Well, that's wonderful. That's great. You're thinking only about your carb content. But if you look at the ingredients and you see things like this in it, run away. And you might say, well, Nancy, why would I run away if the carbs are low? If the carbs are low, can I have that? Why can't I have that? Because keto is different than low carb. That bread should be labeled low carb bread. It fits that perfectly. They would still make a lot of sales, but they wouldn't be doing the damage that they're doing right now. It makes me sad for the people who haven't educated themselves, who don't know, and they see it labeled as keto, and they believe it, and they buy it, and they can't understand why they're still having problems with their blood sugar. They don't understand why their joints are aching. They don't understand why they're having bloating or constipation or diarrhea, because those things are not keto. So when we're talking about ingredients, you guys, we have to think about, beyond our weight loss journey, why we should not we should eat something, if that makes sense. Hey, Lex husband. So when we are thinking about the ingredients, we have to stop and think about, alrighty, what do we want to look at? We're going to start with wheat. It's easier kind of say what to eat. But when it comes to things like wheat, rice, legumes, barley, what else did I write down? Soy. You have to understand why rice is something that's going to spike your blood sugar. Wheat can be very inflammatory. Corn as well. Corn flour, corn potatoes, these very starchy items. Not only do they convert to sugar faster, but they can cause inflammation. They can cause bloat. They will not help you on your weight loss journey, but they won't help you with your health journey either. So think about that. I'm going to cover this list real quick, and then I'm just going to kind of bring it back into like my editorial on it. I'm going to do a little ranting, but I hope that somebody finds this informative today. Deanna, yes, it should be labeled as low. Yes, you do end up gaining weight. All right, so when we do talk about packaged stuff, now somebody posted on my Facebook group there, they a protein drink, Fairlife protein drink. And I thought, I've never even heard of it. I'll look it up. Well, as soon as I saw the label, I knew what it was. I've seen it. I used to drink them back in the day. I just didn't know their company name. It was questionable ingredients in it. First of all, it was milk, not almond milk or a nut milk. It was milk, which we know if you're drinking 16 ounces of milk. Oh, thank you, hippie happy hair diva. I said hippie happy. Thank you for the sticker. I appreciate it. You want to look at milk as sugar. You know, they don't call it lactose for anything. The reason we drink heavy cream is because there's very little sugar in it. We are left with mostly fat, and that is why we drink it. So when you're at the store and you're looking at a protein drink and you see that the very first ingredient is milk and then it's followed by, you know, sweeteners or sugar, that means run away. So we have to be careful with our dairy. We know now to be careful with all of our starches and why, but we have to be careful with our dairy as well because not all dairy is created equal. Whole milk, skim milk, low fat milk, non-fat milk, they all turn into sugar. When you're using half and half, you're deciding to go half milk, half sugar, so your carbs are going to be higher. Those are things that you should take into consideration. I have had half and half, y'all. Every now and then, you know, stuck at a hotel or whatever, you know, I was like, dang, all they got's half and half. And, you know, I'm going to use a couple of them. It's not a big deal. But if you are going grocery shopping and you buy half and half, I've seen this. I've seen this across the board, across all of folks who I've asked privately, what does your day look like? You would be surprised how many people say, well, I put half and half in my coffee every single day, along with sweeteners and things like that. So beware your dairy. Try to avoid milk. Use coconut milk, almond milk, cashew milk. Just be wary of what the ingredient is going to do to you. Okay. When it comes to cheeses, y'all, hard cheeses like Parmesan cheese or even cheddar cheeses, things that have less moisture have lower carbs. You definitely can eat cheese because cheese isn't a problem, right? But it's something that you need to think about when you're eating cream cheese or Velveeta cheese. I know it's garbage, but every now and then, hey, it's delicious. But realize that I think there's like 3 carbs per 2 tablespoons of Velveeta. And if you were making a bowl of queso, you could get in trouble really quick. So you have to be aware of what the carbs are doing and can I eat this or not? Occasionally you can have certain things because they're not technically bad for you. On the other hand, when you're looking at things that have wheat or wheat gluten, let's not forget that. Vital wheat gluten, you guys. I see baking mixes now all the time that have the ingredient vital wheat gluten. That is just the protein that makes things stretchy and binds your breads and your cookies and your cakes and gives that authentic mouthfeel to your products. But know this, it's not keto, y'all. It's not. I get this question all the time. So maybe that's what I'm doing today is just answering questions that have been popping up. And I thought this is just another good time to update everybody. So I want to, okay, I'll get to that question in just a second, y'all. So I really want you guys to look at your nutrition labels and know the difference between low carb and keto. The reason, again, we're looking at keto versus low carb is keto will get you your health benefits and your weight loss. We've discussed in the past, you know, therapeutic keto, nutritional keto, and dirty, lazy keto. And at the end of the day, you decide what works for you. If you're eating dirty keto and you're having things like, you know, Aldi's low carb bread and you're still, you know, losing weight and you don't have inflammation and your blood work is great and you choose to eat it, nobody's going to judge you for that. But I just want you to make an educated decision because a month from now, you might hit a wall And all of a sudden you aren't losing weight, and you might be feeling a little achy. You might be feeling run down or having some symptoms. And it might be all of a sudden that bread that you've been eating. You know what I mean? It's really easy to lose weight in the beginning on keto because you have not been eating healthy at all. So just by lowering your carbs, you're going to lose weight. After that initial weight loss, though, the real work begins, and that's when you rein in and start dialing in on what you're eating. And I got to throw this in there. I've got to throw this in here. One of the things that I have always said from the get-go is what, y'all? What do you want to do at least 5 to 6 days a week? What do you want to focus on? Does anybody know the answer to that? Yes, Susan. So one of the things that I say all the time, I've said it the entire time, is try to eat whole, clean foods. Whole, clean foods. 5 to 6 days a week. Focus on eating clean. It's not always easy to do. You can't be perfect, but if you strive, there's a word, strive for clean eating 5 to 6 days a week, and then you do maybe some dirty keto on the weekend, and you're eating, maybe a little bit of that keto bread or something like that. You do you, Oh, tiger nut flour. Now, I've heard about it, you guys, and I have read about it. I can look it up real quick, and I can refresh myself really quick. Tiger nut flour keto. What is it? Okay, on keto. There we go. Is it friendly? So it's from the plantain. Yes, yes, yes. And it says that it is keto friendly. It has resistant starch options. So, okay, I'm going to put it to you like this, and because I'm not going to make an opinion on something based on just reading it and not trying it. So if you're going to try something different, like when I started using lupin flour, I had to see how it affected my blood sugar. I used it quite a bit before I ever came out and introduced it to everybody on my group and on YouTube and everywhere. Cassava flour. Let's talk about that one. We talked about the tiger nut. Cassava flour is not keto, y'all. It is a plant-based flour, but it is very high carb. A lot of companies like to use it in place of rice or flour because they know. I want you guys to know this. They know, if they see brown rice flour or they see bran or something else like that or vital wheat gluten, they don't buy it. But if we use something cassava, it's paleo, so it works. It's low carb, so it works. It's not keto though. So that's just another one that, no. Tapioca starch. So tapioca starch, y'all, is another thing. Whether it's in syrup form or whether it is in the powdered starch, they call it tapioca fiber, tapioca flour, tapioca starch, monosaccharides. They call it everything. But again, I have talked about this. I talk about it every month when I get my keto crate. I'm always looking for that one product that has tapioca starch in it. Tapioca starch is very high carb. It is at least 60% carbs. Although it is advertised in most products, or Google it, that it is 90% fiber and only 10% carb. It's not true. I have went down the rabbit hole on that product. I won't stay hooked on it, but I had to mention it, that it is supposed to be redone by 2021. They're going to have to, they've been ordered to be clear on this, because here are people enjoying things, right, that they think is 90% fiber and only 10% carbs, and they can't understand why their blood sugar is spiking, or they're not losing weight, or they're having trouble with their type 2 or type 1 diabetes. So be leery. At the end of the day, I have read the only way that you can not really be affected terribly by tapioca syrup or starch or flour or whatever you want to call it, is to see how far down it is on the ingredient list. And there's always one trick that I will tell you to let you know whether or not you should have something. So if you're at the store and you find a keto mug cake product that you can mix yourself, and it says that the total carbs on it are 11 and that the fiber is 7, and you see that it has 4 net carbs for the whole mug cake, and then you look at the ingredient list and it has 6-7 ingredients, and then down there somewhere way down in there you see tapioca fiber or tapioca starch or mono oligosaccharides, all right, and you see that, you can at that point make a decision to say, well, it's way down there on the list. It's got other things above it that are going to prevent it from being the mainstay, and it's not going to affect your blood sugar as much. This is the research I've done. On the other hand, if you go pick up that mug cake and you look at it and it says it has 25 total carbs and 24 grams of fiber and it's only 1 net carb, run away. Because they are saying, again, the tapioca starch is 90% fiber and only 10% carbs. So if you are a person who does net carbs, do not buy into it. If you're total carbs, you wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole anyway. It's just too high. So I just want to make that clear. Let's look at some comments. All right, we're going along good. The other thing that we need to talk about, guys, and it's a no-brainer, right? Let me see here. No, that doesn't work. There we go. So we've got fats in for here. These are our oils. Again, we have to think about it. We know not to do canola. We know not to use vegetable oil and Crisco and all of this. And we stay away from seed oils. They have been chemically stripped and processed until they are absolutely the worst thing that you can put your body. So if you're looking, can be a real big deal when when you're looking, again, at processed keto foods, guys. They use different oils, and if you see palm kernel oil, cottonseed oil, just run away from them. They are junk foods. You will make a decision if you have been standing in the airport and you've got a long day to go, or you are on a road trip. You're not in your normal spot, and you walk into a place and you see a protein bar and it has some oils in it that are bad. It's probably not going to hurt you to eat it, But I'm talking about when you're stocking your pantry, you want to have some bars on hand. You want to have a few snacks, easy to grab and go things that you can take to work or school or wherever it is you're going. Be careful of all of the ingredients. When you see something that has like 30 or 40 ingredients, 9 times out of 10, I would put that on your, oh my God, I'm going to eat this because it's better than eating a McDonald's Big Mac, type of deal, if that makes sense. The other thing that I would like to talk about is sweeteners. Okay, so sweeteners, y'all. They are one of the biggest controversial ingredients when you're looking at whether it's diet colas, baked goods, keto chips, keto bread, petty syrups, you name it. It's got nut butters. There's always a sweetener in there. So quickly on the sweetener subject, when you see monk fruit and stevia and erythritol and xylitol, allulose, you're looking at acceptable keto sweeteners. Some people avoid them completely, all of them, because they can't handle them. That's kind of on a different topic, but know that they're okay. So know this about allulose. If you see allulose on a package, it will tell you that there is 5 grams of sugar. It says, 5 sugars, and you're like, 5 sugars? Well, that's the way allulose is listed. So, and it's not a sugar alcohol. So there's no deduction for it. You can actually zero it out if it's the only one. But sometimes you'll find a product that's got allulose in it, that has a little bit of stevia and erythritol or monk fruit in it, and they will add the sugar alcohols plus 5 sugars. If you see no 0 sugars anywhere, I would tell you it's probably the allulose, so you can deduct that. Dextrose, maltodextrin, there are these other sweeteners, sucralose, saccharin. There are others, coconut sugar, agave syrup. So many sweeteners out there. Pure sugar. At what point do you look at that and go, no, thank you very much? So I am this kind of person when it comes to sweeteners. You decide. Even with some of the keto sweeteners, there's certain ones I just don't eat or I won't like. I don't like xylitol. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right, but I don't like it. I just, it freaks me out. Why? It doesn't taste bad. It just that my blood sugar goes way up when I eat it. If I have sucralose, it doesn't bother me. If my daughter has sucralose, it bothers her. So be careful. Look at your ingredients. If there is just some erythritol and monk fruit, but you don't see anything and it still has sugar, start looking around. Look at ingredients. Is it milk? Is it tomatoes? When you have tomato sauce, it is a naturally occurring sugar in your food. So then you again get to decide, all right, so if I have a half a cup of marinara, I'm going to ingest, maybe 3 or 4 carbs of naturally occurring sugars. For most, that's not going to be a problem. I'm serious. I mean, when you're type 2 diabetic, you do have to be more careful. I understand that. But it's not as, I find it okay for me. I would rather have tomato sauce than, say, Diet Coke. And y'all know I love my Diet Cokes, but I will accept a naturally occurring sugar. Where I'm going to come back and answer the questions, y'all. I promise. So, where are we at now on my list of things? Oh, let's see. We have covered. If I have missed one, you guys feel free to let me know. But I think last but not least, I'm gonna go on. I'm getting ready for my rant about seeds, chia seeds, flax seeds, psyllium husks. All right, so go back up here to comments and turn them on. So here's the thing, y'all. I find that flaxseed, chia seed, psyllium husk are just wonderful additions to our keto diet. I'm not going to name names. I'm going to say that as you go on your keto journey, you're going to evolve. You might evolve into a higher carb person at the end of the day. Maybe you've lost your weight. Maybe you were in maintenance, and I know of people who actually literally had to incorporate more carb and just balance out, and they do it with whole foods, not junk food. All right, so they went a little more paleo and low carb and went off of keto. I know people who have maintained their weight, but for whatever reasons, for health purposes, because they just felt like it was the better choice, they switched to carnivore, and that's where they're happy. It doesn't matter. Or some people are more Mediterranean, they incorporate a few more of those foods from that way of eating. But here's what I want to say. You educate yourself, all right? I have heard people talk about how good flaxseed is for you. I mean, it is a superfood. Chia seeds are a superfood. Psyllium husk, they're high fiber. They're delicious. They help keep you full. They help they help control your blood sugar. The benefits of these types of seeds are great. Can you eat them? I say yes. I eat them. If you have an intolerance, I understand that. At the end of the day, you have to decide. What bothers me, guys, I don't know if it's the person saying it or the person believing it, but the whole situation makes me a little uncomfortable at the end of the day. When you have experts out there who have flipped, I'm just going to say it, they flipped their way of eating, And I'm happy for them. I'm happy for anybody who's eating healthy. I don't care if it's paleo or carnivore or keto or low carb or Mediterranean or even low fat, if that's your thing. If it works for you and your numbers are great, so long as you focus on your healthy eating, I got no judgment. But what I do have a problem with is people who are using the same tactics as big companies, because they've got such a huge reach, you guys, that they will tell you 2 years ago how wonderful chia seed pudding is, and 2 more years later it's like, no, it's the devil. It's not good for you. It causes inflammation. It has too much estrogen in it. It does this, it does that. You know why? Because their way of eating has changed, and now they want to tell you it's not good. And reason I'm saying this, okay, because maybe it's not good for them. Maybe it's not good for them anymore. But does that mean it's not good for everybody? No, it doesn't. So I wouldn't want to be the person to pop off and tell somebody that something isn't good for them, and then have everybody just believe me and not eat it anymore, and not be the whole truth. It reminds me of when people are creating a documentary. Maybe it is pro-vegetarianism, okay? So they're going to cherry pick their numbers. They're going to talk about how terrible carnivore people are and how terrible animals are and how terrible, our environment is because of all of this. They're going to cherry pick, and they're going to bring you stats from scientists about how wonderful being a vegan is or a vegetarian is, right? We're like, yeah, we're not falling for that. Well, we kind of do. We kind of do. Because we all jumped in and we were like, oh man, this person's great, or oh, that person's great. At the end of the day, they are. But if they want to turn around and cherry pick and say, hey, you can't have this now, and you can't have this now, and I find this is bad. I'm like, I'm pausing and I'm stopping and I'm thinking, why was it good a year ago, but now it's not? There's not that much research out there to absolutely destroy a healthy food off a food group, especially when somebody, and I hear a whole bunch of voices in my head, y'all. I'm not talking about one particular person or even just a couple. I'm talking about how I am listening to different people who are helping influence other people's way of eating. And they're just like, it's your opinion, and that's all it is. It's their opinion. So you, at the end of the day, decide, does it work for me? Because if so-and-so says it and you take it to heart, and then somebody else comes along and they say, oh, I love to have flaxseed, and then you're like, oh no, so-and-so said, it breaks my heart. I feel like it's wrong to do. I do. I wish we wouldn't do that. I think a better approach to it is, look, I was eating this way. I was great. I felt even better when I changed to this way of eating. And I'm not going to bash my old way of eating just because I want to have everybody come over on board and eat the way I'm eating now. I'm just not doing that. Linda, you're so sweet. So this is my rant. Make a decision based on knowledge, not on what I say, not on what Dr. so-and-so or Miss so-and-so or whoever it happens to be. If somebody is out there telling you that the food that you've been eating and loving is now all of a sudden bad for you, and it was keto, it's on the keto list, my God, it's on the keto approved food list, but now all of a sudden it's bad for you, because I'm going to say, no. I'm going to say I question that. And I would definitely question that. I look at it like this, y'all. When we decided to step out and start our keto journey, I'm sure every single one of us had that pause of regret, thinking, oh my God, I hope I can do this. I hope I can stick with it. I'm giving up so much. And we really did, didn't we? We grew up in a world of fast food, convenience, gluttony, eating anything and everything we wanted until we were fat, sick, and unhealthy, right? Okay. So when we made that decision that we're going to step out, we're going to go keto, we knew that we were making a huge personal sacrifice. And I look at it like this. it was depressing in the beginning for me when I first started keto because I was not satisfied. I got very bored. I got very, what is the word they use? Food boredom, because I was tired of just eating protein and vegetables and eggs and bacon over and over and over. And it wasn't until I just said, okay, I'm going to start getting creative with these keto ingredients that I was able to start enjoying it. But now I'm being told these keto ingredients that I've been using, and nobody's personally said anything to me. I'm just ranting. My thought process is this: I've already given up so much. I surely don't want to just stop eating chia seeds or flax seeds or psyllium husk just because somebody said, hey, that's not good for you, or lupin flour, you know? Think about it. Just, people have intolerances for many different things. I mean, peanuts are a number one allergen. Eggs are another one. There are people who cannot have dairy. There are people who cannot have, certain food groups. There are people who cannot have certain proteins. So I don't want anybody cherry picking things and just because there's a 10% of the population that's allergic to peanuts doesn't mean that peanuts are bad for 90% of the other population, correct? So anyway, there's my rant, you guys. I want to go over this to see if I missed anything. Again, this setup that I'm working with is kind of new. Let's see, tapioca, sweeteners, dextrose, the no list. Yeah, we've got it. Every single time we get a newbie, this is where I wanted to go. Every time we get a new person in group, I always like to say welcome to them. And I know there's many of you guys who are just as sweet and loving and welcome them too, and you give good advice. But when I really have a new person, one of the things that I like to do is I always share a link to the Ruled Me Beginner's Guide to Keto 101. It is one of the most complete lists I've seen of all the keto foods, all the proteins, the vegetables, the cheeses, the nuts, the seeds, the oils, the sweeteners, and then it talks about your electrolytes. It talks about your keto flu. It really just breaks everything down. Very simple for beginners. But we have to remember we were all beginners once too. So let's be mindful. Okay, let's be mindful. I had a lady who just joined. I actually ended up private messaging her. One of the best ways to start your keto journey is just start by lowering your carbs before you just jump in. You can do it cold turkey. People have done it. But I think anything that is worth doing is doing well. One of the things that I did when I started my keto journey was I took a week and said I basically started, but I started lowering those carbs and lowering them. Before keto, my carbs were, I'm sure they were easily 400 or 500 a day. I mean, I was all about them, right? Lowering my carbs probably down to about 100 to 75 or 80 a day for a week or two, I was losing weight and I wasn't even keto yet. So I think it's really something we need to look at ourselves when we see a new person coming in, that, understand that they're not going to be where we're at, and they're just going to be gently broke in and starting out with a little bit higher carbs and working your way down, which I think is just smart all the way around anyway. If you are new to keto, start out with low carb for a week and then work your way down to those 20 net carbs as you go along your journey. And it can take a couple of weeks to a couple of months to get fat adapted and work your way down there. You will be losing weight the entire time, but you're being kind to your body. You're educating yourself as you go along. You're giving yourself time to avoid the keto flu and just learn the process. So yes. Okay, so I'm gonna come back, y'all, now. It is already 3:38, so I guess I did eat up at least 38 minutes, right? See if there are any comments. Elizabeth said your Facebook Live ended for me, huh? Okay, my YouTubers are good. Good morning. Let's see. Oh, love you too, hippie. Okay. Some of these usernames on YouTube, I'm like, oh, that's like a mystery to me because I probably know you completely different on Facebook, right? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Let's get down here. Carmen says, I'm so glad I have gluten issues, so I'm not tempted by keto bread. I'm technically better off eating real sourdough. Yeah. Having a gluten intolerance is one great way to make sure that you avoid a lot of foods, because gluten is in almost absolutely everything in the grocery store that has a wrapper. Kid you not. If you were to go around the outside aisle and just shop for meat, eggs, butter, you know, the basics, produce, you would be fine. But if you hit any aisle and start picking up and reading labels, you will find wheat, almost on everything. Low carb, yes. Yes, it's Ketovore says it's only Ketovore Deb. It's only going to get worse with keto becoming more popular. And yes, and that's why it's more important than ever that we again educate ourselves. You know, take the time. I Google everything, y'all. That's basically what I do. I get I'll be sitting there and all of a sudden I'm like, I wonder about this ingredient, and so I Google it. And then I Google it some more, and I read several articles from different viewpoints on an ingredient. I want to know the health benefits of this ingredient. I want to know, is it keto? Why is it keto? Why is it not keto? You know, so educating yourself is excellent. And you really find that when you go to the store, it makes your day a lot easier because you understand the ingredients that are on the label. Gaining weight and then bad mouth keto. Yes. And that's the rub right there, isn't it? So you've got these folks who are wanting to do the keto diet, but they're not educating themselves, and they're going to the store and they're seeing the slim fast keto this, and they're seeing the keto Aldi bread, and there's, you know, they're buying up all the processed meats because they can have meats and cheese, and they're putting it on their low carb bread or their low carb tortillas, and then they're using the low carb mix, the what is that, Carb Quick. That stuff's not keto, y'all. It's low carb, it's not keto, but they are advertised. And they're not losing any weight. They might even be gaining weight. Hippie says, I try not to buy the packaged stuff unless Nancy has shown me the bag or told me what's good. Thank you, Nancy. You're so welcome. Debbie, darn, I'm late. What's your opinion on chicory root fiber? I like it. I have it in my cabinet. I like it. It's it doesn't mess with your blood sugar. It has its own natural sweetness as well. It's not used as a sweetener, but it does lend some sweetness. It's good in baking. I don't use it all the time, but I do find it is okay. It's also known as inulin. You can buy it at your health food store. It's not in the baking section. It's more in the supplemental where you find fibers. But I don't have a problem with it. And that was another thing I was going to talk about. When it comes to these type of thickeners, like I use xanthan gum, I use guar gum, I use konjac root, also known as glucomannan. I have inulin, I have acacia fiber. These are all different thickeners, or they lend texture to your baked goods. And I was not familiar with how to use them when I started. I'm still learning as I go about these different ones, and I find it's fine. Other ones that make things taste great: potato starch, cornstarch, tapioca starch. Those ones are the ones that they really do make everything taste yummy. But potato starch can be consumed on the keto diet. It's not written anywhere, but I'm going to tell you why. If you were to take it and put it in a glass of water, mix it cold, and drink it, you would get the benefit of the probiotics in it, and you would get the benefit of the fiber, and you would not get the blood sugar spike. There's been tons of research done on this. Yet, if you were to heat it and thicken some gravy or pop it into your cake or whatever, and you heat it, it changes it. It becomes a carb. It is not good. Your best bet is just to avoid it. I know some keto peeps, famous ones, business owners, famous influencers who use cornstarch or potato starch. Two. I know two personally that don't have problems with it. it's sort of, but do I say, hey, so-and-so used this, so it's okay for everybody to use it? No. One person's totally fit and the other person is getting great results, but that doesn't mean it should be pushed for everybody. You know, you choose at the end of the day what works for you. So if you want to ingest potato starch cold in a glass of water, a teaspoon a day, work your way up towards a tablespoon. You could be very bloated. I hear there's all kinds of side effects. But again, they say after a few days, it goes away and you start losing weight. I haven't done it. Isolate protein drink is a good protein drink. Costco carries it. Yes. Let's see. And I did talk about the Fairlife already. Again, when you're talking about fermenting milk, which is yogurt, it's ferment. You have changed the thing. Look at the carb count. Most yogurts have like 5 or 6. If they're a good one, you want to keep it down at the 5, 6, maybe even 7 if you allow yourself that on yogurts, especially if it's unsweetened, you know, or sweetened with natural sweeteners like stevia, monk fruit, erythritol, so on. Because you're going to have a naturally occurring sugar, it will break down. Will it cause your blood sugar to spike, or will it just cause a little rise and then go back down? Again, it's up to you. Occasionally, I buy plain yogurt. I try to get Greek. It seems to be lower in carbs. I try to go full fat if I can, but sometimes I want it and I eat it. Maybe I get it maybe 2 or 3 times a year is all, you know. Let's see. I want a cheesecake recipe. Can you call me Lynn? I need to put it on my name. I'm not sure. Oh, Lynn. There we go. Okay, gotcha. I have a cheesecake recipe. It's on my website, ketoforreallifepeople.com. You can do like I did and use keto. I use the perfect keto bars as a crust, and I patted them out in a little pan. I made little 6-inch rounds, and I've already got a wonderful no-bake cheesecake. Did I bake it? No, I don't think I did bake it. It's a no-bake recipe. It's on my website. Just pop in cheesecake. Let's see. These things, here we go. Sprouts is carrying a bread at Chompy's, also has soy wheat, has a label 100% keto friendly. Not. Yeah, don't you just want to go up there? Don't you just want to go up there and educate them? I would, not only the stores, but the companies. And like, you know what? Maybe somebody should file a lawsuit. It's been done before. Remember the person who was eating and got fat eating McDonald's, and then they sued McDonald's because they couldn't control themselves? Yeah, I'd be the person going up there to the factory. Hello? Y'all labeled that keto. I ate it. I got fat. It's your fault. Pay me. I need a boob job. You know? Oh. Aw, thanks, Lynn. She's like, I got my real name up there. Great advice, Nancy, on so many things you are mentioning. I hope so. If I forgot something, like I said, or if you have a question, feel free to pop it in here, you guys. Let's see. Lindy says, I use cassava once a year in my gumbo at Christmas because it works the best for my recipe. But if I was making it more often, I would use another option. See, I love that, Lindy. I love that. Guys, at the end of the day, you can choose to eat whatever you want. You can eat off plan as much as you want. You can get back on plan as much as you want. We're not here to judge you. We're here to educate you. Me, the mouse in my pocket. I'm just here to say, and I say we collectively because, we've been a group sticking together for quite a while now. So at the end of the day, everybody has their exceptions, right? If you don't have a gluten intolerance and you want to eat some keto bread or low carb or a low carb tortilla, go for it. But at least you're making the decision based on good information, right? That's, I think, the baseline for this entire live is you're getting educated on it, and then you make up your mind about it. It's the hard part is when you don't know. There are so many people, and I get it. I mean, not everybody's geared to be just like go to the store and read every single label of every single thing that you buy. I'm one of them. My husband does not like going shopping with me because I'm like, everything. He drives him nuts. Not everybody has that mindset to do that. So if you have a heads up about certain ingredients, or you're just learning, this could be invaluable. But at the end of the day, you make your decision. Heck, at Christmas, I was like, I'm having a half a cup of mashed potatoes. But now my other potatoes, my cauli mash is so good. So, but you make your mind up. Hello, Lorene, Lois, Tina. Good afternoon, Rebecca. Tina says, I have a question on the keto bread at Costco. I know you don't do gluten. They said it's 1 carb per slice. Do you ever read the ingredients when you go to Costco? I like to know what you think. Well, Tina, we don't have a Costco. I wish to heck we had Costco, but we don't. I think the nearest one I know of is more than 100 miles away in Dallas. And so we have a Sam's Club, which I let my membership expire last year. So I don't see anything going on in the club stores. You know what I mean? Again, just look at the price or look at the ingredients and then see where they're at with their fiber, what type of fiber. If it has tapioca in it, I wouldn't trust it. I just wouldn't, you know. Look at their fiber source and see what it is. That would be my best advice. Thank you, Tina. Thank you. Thank you. Listen to your body. Tina says, I look in several diets because they wanted to put me on insulin. I said, keto, I like best. And wow, what a change in me. Exactly. Exactly. Lindy. Well, here we go. Where are we? They're bouncing now, y'all. They're starting to come in here. Okay. Angie, good morning in South Australia. I'm with you. I go with what works for me. We're all different and individual in our journey and dealing with all kinds of carbs and sugar withdrawals. Hey, welcome. Hello, clear over there in South Australia. Let me tell you, this is just another little point to bring up. Again, new member this week in our group. I could just tell, not everybody can tell, but even just with the way her wording was, I knew that she was not from the United States. Something to consider when we're helping support each other, okay, would be consider where not everybody's from the United States. So things that we can get here, they can't get there, vice versa. I picked up on it really quick just from a few key words that I was helping somebody from another country. So try to keep in mind, not everybody is from the United States. Not everybody has the same available produce and food. It's just crazy. So just an afterthought there. Jerry said, I need to start out fresh again. And could you please send me the link where you were just talking about? Thank you. Oh my goodness. Jerry, send me a reminder. I mean, I'm talking about a lot of stuff there. Hello, Marla. Jerry just walked out of Walmart. Keto is saving my life. Hello, Miss Sharon. Lillian is baking my ginger cookies. Okay, so somebody had a wonderful idea the other day because I was telling everybody yesterday that I was going to be doing s'mores next week as one of the lives for a Halloween treat. We were just going to do a s'mores and homemade marshmallows, and I was working on a keto cracker, and maybe it was Lillian who suggested that I use my ginger cookies, and that would be wonderful. So Tina says, whatever happened to your cookbook? It is right here in this computer. It is coming along. But I'm going to tell you guys, I had an opportunity. I had an interview with a publishing house here about a week ago or so. It's definitely something I'm interested in. I was being considered for a book publishing deal. At this time, it's just going to be probably a little further out, but it is there. And as far as me working on it, it is hard, y'all. I'm wearing so many hats right now with my husband's health, with my mother's health, with my health, with the depression that I went through, with the crashing computer. It's just sitting there. I can be quite honest with you. It started. It looks good. It has a ways to go. But I really honestly thought that I was going to be having a cookbook done by January, and it's just not right there. but it's there. You know what I mean? Vicky says, I love your porridge recipe for fall and winter. Yeah, somebody just messaged me this morning. They had misplaced it, so I had to share a link, and I got it to them. Celix said she's still working on the cookbook. It's a long process to get it the way she wants it. Yes, and I am using my daughter's laptop. Pray God she never moves away, because this is the ultimate right here. It works so fast. It's so good. I would love to love. Guys, honestly, you know what I need to do? In order to write a cookbook for me, I would have to just fall off the face of the earth and not talk to my family or be online with you guys. I mean, that's what it would take. It would take at least at least 2 months, 2.5 months to just sit down and do nothing but go to work every day and work on a cookbook. It's a lot more than you think. I have all the recipes, but there's so much to it. Thank you, baby, for having me back there and helping me along. Thank you, Vicky. It's about choices. Do you sniff hair as well? Okay, I don't know. Low carb. Elizabeth leans more towards low carb. Hello from Hawaii, Miss Rochelle. Okay. Let's see here. I think the Sabre person here, we have to go. We'll block that user. Look at there. Yay. Okay, so I think I'm caught up. And Jerry, I still eat OMAD and I eat keto most of the time. And I never get on the scale. I go by my genes and I'm losing. All right. So that's a great tip right there. I was just telling my husband this morning that I prefer to do my bigger eating during the day. I mean, really, honestly, I feel so much better. It's not that I'm OMAD, but if I eat, say, noon, 1 o'clock. So we'll say lunchtime is if I eat a really good meal. Today, I haven't even posted the picture yet. But if I post the picture, I wonder if I could do that of what I ate today. It's great because it fills me up all day long. And I find that if I do get a little bit hungry, then I can have something small. And I feel like I sleep way, way better when I do that. Let's hear. There we go. There it goes. So I can come in here and it's there, brand, and then add a overlay to you guys. And then recents. And then downloads. Untitled design. Hey, I'm learning that I can do things here. There we go. Oh no, that's not it. Maybe it's going to be under image. La 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 la. Yeah, okay, there we go. All right, so I uploaded my lunch today. It was a mammoth burger, y'all. I went ahead and did a half a pound of ground beef. I just kind of split it in half. I made a burger. I threw some bacon in the pan with it. I threw my onions. I was cooking it all at once, you know, just like this big hamburger patty with onions and bacon. And then I took a little bit of Velveeta cheese, but then I took cream cheese and I melted it and I made like a cheeseburger. And I am still so full. And I ate that like at 12, between 11 and 12 today. I guess it's not going to upload. It's okay. Y'all can see it later. So Mr. Sabre, how do I block this? Okay, so we've got a person here who is, I guess, being a bot, and they've changed their name again. So we'll just keep doing that. All right, guys, we've been at this just about an hour, so I'm going to wind it down. For all of the people out here on YouTube, if this is your first time, thank you. Oh, Deanna says hair loss. I eat a heavy meat keto and still losing hair. Guys, we need collagen. Let me tell you, more than protein, you need collagen. Collagen is hair, skin, nail, and bone health, joint health. I've been reading and reading and reading, and I'm not getting enough collagen in my meat. I'm getting protein for my muscles, but our hair, skin, and nails needs a good collagen. I just reached out to Equip Foods because they have bags of pure collagen. I like their products. I'm probably going to go that direction with it. You do you. You find the one that works with you. They're just now getting production back in stock because they sell out every time. To me, that's a good sign. But anyways, I have read several times. Mark Sison is one. Dr. Axe is another. Healthline is another website that I read. Especially if you are in your 40s, 50s, or beyond, 3 scoops of collagen a day is really going to help. Bone broth is going to help you. I know people don't like to make it, but I tell you what, it's so worth it. And do it just once a week. Make a batch. If you have an Instant Pot, just make it. It helps with your hair, your skin, your nails. You will look younger. You will be working from the inside out. Okay? Can you give us a link for the beginning keto list you talked about earlier? Yes, I can. I will do that as soon as I get done with this. I will post the link. I put it out there, like I said, in my YouTube group, or my Facebook group. It's one of my resources, but I will definitely add it to this post so that anybody can click on it and just save it to your reading list because it is worth keeping. It's very thorough. I thought about writing my own, but I'm like, man, these people said it perfectly. So I just share their link. It's fantastic. Let's see. Can you give us the link? Okay. And the broccoli cheese casserole, dozen eggs, seasoning broccoli, topped with cheese, bake. Okay, Tina. That's a crosstalk. Deanna, what collagen? It is by Equip. It is a pure collagen. Like I said, I reached out last week. They said they should have it by November. I'm looking forward to getting it. I want pure collagen. I want it at least 3 times a day. I think that will help me. I'm going to talk to my gynecologist tomorrow about just some of the little issues I'm still having. Hip joint pain. I mean, it's age, guys. I can't fix everything, right? But I'm like you guys. I've got the hair loss. My hair's, the parts are getting bigger. The splits are getting bigger here. But I have not been doing the collagen, and I need to. I will tell you guys that when I started my keto journey, you know how you do certain things you're doing everything wonderfully in the beginning, right? And then after you hit that wall a year later, then you try to scramble, and I look back and I think, what was I doing? One thing that I was doing was I was making bone broth. I was making it every single week. I would make chicken bone broth from the cheapest ass chicken I could get. Pardon my French. But I would just go down and buy thigh and leg, leg and thigh quarters. And I would just put them in my pot and I would cover them with water, season it however I wanted it to taste, and I would drink it every single afternoon around 3 o'clock. Every afternoon without fail, I would drink 16 ounces, which is 2 servings of bone broth. Guys, my skin was glowing. My hair was bouncing. But I did not equate that with people losing their hair because it's quite common. And everybody thinks it's just that protein, but honestly, it's more than that. It is that collagen. So that's going to be my number 1 recommendation there. Ketovore says, I have hair loss, been taking collagen for 3 weeks. We'll have to check out Equip. Yeah, and give it time, guys. Give it time. We have collagen is a good way, but I mean, all natural is best too. Tina says, I use Vital Proteins at Costco. It's unflavored. Mix it with everything. Yes, collagen can go in your baked goods. It can go in your coffee. It can go in your smoothies. You can use it any way you want to. Carla says, I wish I could take collagen, but I can't because of kidney function. Oh, so sorry, lady. Eat a rotisserie and make bone broth from the bones. Yes, and I'm going to tell you, I know that everybody's like, well, rotisserie chickens aren't going to ask for you. They've got those chickens there. They're not cage-free and blah, meh, 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 or whatever. They're cheap. And I always buy them when they get marked down, and I like to buy 2 or 3 because I can get them for $2 to $2.50 a piece. I take that whole carcass, I cram them down in my Instant Pot. I get like 3 carcasses in there. I cover it with water. I am very careful with the salt because there's salt in those bones, I'm telling you. It makes a delicious gelatin jiggly broth, and I cook with it. I eat it. I drink it. It's delicious. Turkey legs works. We are after the bones. I have done a bone broth video, you guys. I did a bone broth. I've done 2. Both of them not very good. What I need to do is a video, not a live, because it just takes too long. Even with the Instant Pot, it takes me 5 minutes to throw everything in the Instant Pot. And then it takes an hour and a half for it to cook. I remember doing my first live like that and going, oh, shoot, I did not think about this. What am I going to do? Well, let's just make something else, you know. So really, I should just do a step-by-step process. All right, I am fixing to wind it down. We are past the 4 o'clock hour, and my schedule is moving along. You can see on the ticker here that I am advertising Fridays live. It's going to be a wonderful Halloween Fat Bomb Friday. We're going to make some fat bombs at 3 o'clock. It's Texas time on Friday afternoon, so I hope to see you here. I'm not sure if I would broadcast it on Facebook and YouTube. We'll see. I don't know. I'm going to check out how Facebook looks when this is all said and done. Quickly, next week we will be making like I said, we're going to have some s'mores and maybe a couple other little treats that I'm going to do for the Halloween treats. And we will also probably be back on schedule, I think. Let me look at my calendar. On the 27th, I have to take my mama to Dallas. That is on a Tuesday, yes. And on Thursday, I have you guys scheduled. Yeah. So we'll be here next Thursday at this time to do our weekly chat. I love that I can do this on Facebook and YouTube now. It makes me feel so much better. I don't see as many people on Facebook as I do on YouTube, but at the same time, I feel really balanced because we're hitting both the marks. You can all ask your questions, and it's a lot when you're trying to plan 5 or 6 lives a week. Hello. Tanya says I'll be there for all that. So next Thursday, we're going to make it 3 o'clock. I'll schedule next week's for 3 o'clock. I think it's a good time for us. And we'll do our weekly chat on next Thursday. We'll get our other one up. Also coming next week, it has to be next week because we've had such craziness going on right this month and September with surgery and whatnot. I'm going to be releasing my masterclass. Masterclass is for my YouTube fan club. There are memberships available. The people who are the key KFRLP fan club and above, I think, they get that masterclass. And there's only a couple people, but you know what? I appreciate their support. It helps me do the things that I do here. And I'm going to be releasing a masterclass on eggs. Eggs, you say? Eggs are nothing. Eggs are everything. And if you know how to treat an egg, it's incredible. It's edible. And we are going to cover all the different ways, as many different ways as I can on using eggs. So it's going to be a masterclass that'll be being released next week. Also, next week, we are scheduling a coaching class, again, for the fan club. This is the end of the line stuff, guys. I just want it for anybody who is in my fan club. Just go to the Keto for Real Life People page, slide over past community, and you will see memberships. There you can decide where you want to be. If you want to become a Keto for Real People fan club member, if you're a Patreon and you want to switch to YouTube and do that, that would be great. If you're on YouTube or Facebook and you want to switch over and do it that way, that's fine too. You don't have to do both. If you want to do both, hey, I'm not saying anything. But we got things coming. Coaching class, master class. We've got goodies and treats, and we've got a weekly chat. So I will see you at least 4 times next week. Have a blessed day, y'all, and I will be back tomorrow Friday afternoon at 3 o'clock. Remember, fats first, moderate protein, low carb, and get you some. 23, 24. I'm wondering if I'm still live. It says in broadcast, and I'm just like, But I'm not doing anything. It says having trouble connecting. Please check your internet.